CH6. Now, Jin-sung's days were pretty normal. He woke up early every morning, got ready for school, and did all the chores. But school wasn't easy. He was still being picked on by other students. Even though he had won that big fight, some people thought it was just luck. But things were a bit better now. He wasn't getting hurt as much as before. Still, he was stuck doing everyone's errands. One day, the teacher reminded everyone that they had to join a club. Jin-sung felt a lot of pressure. The teacher talked about a special meeting for those who didn't join a club. Jin-sung just wanted a simple club where he didn't have to use his power. But when he looked at the list, most of the clubs were about military stuff or using their powers. It was a bit overwhelming. Then, he saw a club called the HT Club. It was all about getting healthy together and doing physical activities. Jin-sung got really excited about it. He could get fit without using his power. So he went straight to the gym to sign up. But when he got there, he was surprised. There were so many students waiting to sign up, even first-year students who didn't have to join a club yet. And then he found out why. The president of the club was none other than Sung-ho, the most popular kid in school. Sung-ho saw Jin-sung and was happy to see him. CH7. Jin-sung didn't want to cause a scene, but Sung-ho brought him back to the gym. They had to take a test to join the club. The test was tough. They had to keep up with Sung-ho while he did grueling exercises. However, for a whole year, no one had succeeded in joining because of how tough the challenges were. As the day of the challenging test arrived, a group of brave students gathered. Excitement and nervousness filled the air. The test began, and as it progressed, some students began to give up. The first group of participants couldn't keep up and dropped out one by one. It seemed impossible to pass. Among them was Jin-sung, who was surprised by his friend Sung-ho's enduring energy. Sung-ho wasn't even tired after all the exercises. Feeling scared but determined, the second group of students urged Jin-sung to try. He hesitated but eventually gave it a shot. Even though he exercised every day to build his stamina, he struggled to keep up with Sung-ho's pace. Despite the bullying and challenges, Jin-sung persevered, becoming the last one standing. Everyone was amazed that even the lowest-ranked student had held on. As the test neared its end, Sung-ho began to admire Jin-sung's strength and determination. Even the younger students cheered for the underdog, urging him to finish the test with all his might. Jin-sung pushed through the final sets and became the only student to pass. Sung-ho warmly welcomed Jin-sung to the club. Although Jin-sung wanted to quit immediately, Sung-ho paid no attention and continued to ignore him. Finally, Sung-ho had found someone who could match his level, and he was happy about it. CH8. After joining the HT club, Jin-sung gained attention from everyone. People were curious about how he managed to pass the tough entry test. Even though he wanted to leave the club, he knew Sung-ho wouldn't allow it. Jin-sung even briefly considered breaking his arm to avoid going, but he quickly dismissed the idea. One day, as he reluctantly headed to the club, Jin-sung encountered a confident female student named Se-yeon. She introduced herself as a corporal and caught Jin-sung's attention. Despite finding her pretty, Jin-sung didn't recall her from his class. Sung-ho appears. Se-yeon wasn't intimidated by Sung-ho's authority and stood up to him. Even when Sung-ho tried to belittle her, she showed her strength and independence. Se-yeon's attempt to make Sung-ho her boyfriend took an unexpected turn. Sung-ho rejected her, and she turned her attention to Jin-sung with the same proposal. Eventually the situation ended, and the training resumed. Jin-sung and Sung-ho endured grueling exercises at the gymnasium, impressing Se-yeon, who watched from the sidelines. She was very eager to find out what secrets Jin-sung was hiding. CH9. The following day, Se-yeon officially joined the class and asserted herself by choosing a seat next to Jin-sung in Squad 3. She even scared another student into giving up their seat for her. Se-yeon's introduction to the class didn't go as planned, and she came across as arrogant instead of cheerful. As the days passed, Se-yeon's extraordinary abilities and unique family lineage became known. She possessed the rare hereditary idea called the White Jade Goblin, passed down through generations. The idea only appeared in female descendants of the Kim family, leading to a decline in their population. Se-yeon's incredible sword skills made her stand out, and the homeroom teacher appointed her as the vice-captain of the squad. Jin-sung was amazed by Se-yeon's fame and abilities, while Ji-young, another student, grew displeased by her new role. CH10. The tension between Gi-young and Se-yeon escalated, making things more complicated. As the days went by, the tension between Gi-young and Se-yeon seemed to grow stronger and stronger. Gi-young's feelings of anger and resentment towards Se-yeon only seemed to intensify over time. One afternoon, Se-yeon extended a friendly invitation to Jin-sung, asking him to join her for a meal. However, Jin-sung politely declined, explaining that he had a long list of chores to complete. Gyeong's frustration reached new heights when he discovered that Jinsung wasn't just tending to his own squad's tasks, but also taking on responsibilities for the entire class. Despite Jinsung's attempts to downplay the situation, Gyeong was unwilling to let it slide. He took matters into his own hands and confronted the students who were making Jinsung do their chores. Gyeong demanded that they apologize to Jinsung for their actions. Not stopping there, Gyeong brought the matter to the attention of the homeroom teacher, hoping for a resolution. To Gyeong's dismay, the teacher feigned ignorance and placed Seon in charge of dividing the chores to ease the tension. Gyeong's frustration grew even more as Seon began assigning chores to the class students. They tried to avoid their responsibilities and push all the work onto Jinsung. However, Seon's strong authority and popularity meant no one dared to challenge her decisions. She made sure everyone did their fair share of the chores, effectively diffusing the situation. As Seon's leadership continued to gain respect, Gyeong found himself becoming increasingly frustrated. He attempted to assert his authority over Seon, but she stood her ground, respecting only those who displayed true strength. Gyeong's irritation reached a boiling point, and he confronted Seon, even challenging her for her leadership position. Seon's response was unexpected. She calmly informed Gyeong that she could easily take over his role as squad leader. This statement further infuriated him, leading him to invite Seon for a private discussion on the rooftop. Jinsung, who had overheard their conversation, sensed something suspicious and decided to follow Seon to the rooftop. To his shock, Gyeong had set up an ambush with a group of students ready to attack Seon. It became clear that this was all part of Gyeong's revenge plan against her. Despite the ambush, Seon remained composed and unfazed. Ch 11. She boldly confronted Gyeong, stating that revenge wouldn't deter her. She reminded him that as a section leader she had to follow orders, but she also emphasized that rank was determined by both strength and intelligence. Seon challenged Gyeong to prove himself and make smarter decisions if he wanted to outrank her. Meanwhile, Jinsung quietly listened to their conversation from behind the rooftop door. Gyeong's frustration grew, and he urged the students with him to unleash their abilities known as a Edeya. Even though many of them had lower-ranking Edeya and no special powers, Gyeong believed that by combining their strengths, they could overcome Seon. Gyeong had carefully orchestrated everything, gathering a group of 15 students to ensure their victory. He was confident that their plan could succeed since Seon wouldn't be able to use her Edeya without a specific blade, which she didn't have with her. Gyeong taunted Seon, trying to intimidate her. Despite Gyeong's attempts to rally the students and overwhelm Seon, she stepped forward with confidence. She reminded them that she was an A-rank blade master and could take on 100 students below her rank. Suddenly a horn appeared on her head, and a powerful blue light emanated from her, activating her Edeya, known as White Jade Goblin. Gyeong ordered his fellow students to attack Seon, claiming that her lack of a blade reduced her strength by half. However, Seon skillfully blocked their attacks, easily defeating them. When one student accused her of not understanding the struggles of those without natural talent, Seon revealed that she had once been a D-rank in combat ability. Despite Gyeong's attempts to dismiss this revelation, Seon's hard work and determination had indeed paid off. In a surprising turn of events, the other students attacked Seon all at once, attempting to overpower her. However, Seon's strength and resolve remained unshaken, and she faced their challenge head-on. In the fierce battle, Seon proves her strength by defeating all the other students. Ch 12. Only Gyeong remains, standing confidently. Yet a question lingers in Seon's mind. Does Gyeong have a secret strategy? Seon has been avoiding hitting people in the face during the fight. But a surprising twist occurs. Gyeong's plan is to get hit in the face, hoping it will lead to Seon's suspension or even expulsion. Just as Seon prepares to strike, Jinsun steps in. He stops her punch and pretends to ask Gyeong if he's okay, cleverly covering up Seon's move. When Gyeong questions whether Jinsun bought him, Seon denies it. Jinsung's heart sinks as he feels the weight of never truly belonging anywhere. Seon's suspicion is aroused by Jinsung's seemingly low combat rank, yet he managed to swiftly intercept her attack on Gyeong. How did he do it? Jinsung pleads for the situation to end as the sun sets, but anger flares within him as Gyeong threatens to report them. However, a surprise twist unfolds. Jinsung reveals that he broke the hidden camera the surgeon was using to record them. The focus shifts to Jinsun, and all eyes are on him. How did he manage to halt Seon's powerful swing? Seon encourages the defeated students to learn from Jinsun's quick thinking and emulate his actions. As they depart from the rooftop, Seon takes Shinsung with her, hoping his newfound friends will help him find his place. Later, Jinsung finds himself in a puzzling dream. covered in blood, attacking his uncle. He awakens to the sound of his blaring alarm, the dream's residue still lingering. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.